Why India Today uncovers what possibly are our own Indian mini Guantanamos. Operating obscure, vicious torture is inflicted on prisoners in a jail barely 30 kilometers.
दिक्कत ना हो इसलिए ये लोग कैदी के हाथ पांव कसकर पकड़े हुए हैं और बीच-बीच में अपना हाथ भी आजमा रहे हैं.
Prisons are supposed to punish convicts for the crimes that they have committed, and they're supposed to be reformed and rehabilitated. And this is so these inmates can become decent human beings who are capable of living in society, one day. However, there are some prisons in India that have done the complete opposite due to the violent nature of some of their prisons. Well, how's it going, YouTube? I'm your host for this one, Landon Do Not Sing, and welcome back to another most amazing top 10 video. If you guys love our prison top 10 videos, you guys should check out our scary prison playlists. You guys can click right over here, and there's lots of prison videos for you guys over there. For some reason, prison has become one of our most popular videos on this channel. It's just getting like tens of millions of views. Insane. Okay, so this right here, well, this is the top 10 most dangerous prisons in India. Starting off this brutal list, and at number 10, we have Kot Bhalwal Jail. This is a prison that has a very dark history. It was revealed by WikiLeaks that some of the prison guards use electrocution, beatings, and sexual humiliation on some of the inmates who were jailed here in 2005. And back in October 1993, police opened fire on the inmates, killing 5 prisoners and injuring 28 of them. And this is after they objected to be searched. Another incident took place in 2004 when the police used tear gas shelling and aerial firing on the prisoners for no particular reason. So yeah, I would say this is one of the most dangerous prisons in India. If I ever commit a crime, please don't send me there. Up next, number 9, we are taking a look at the Arthur Road Jail located in Mumbai. This notorious jail houses some of India's most wanted criminals and terrorists. And oh yeah, did I also mention that it is severely overcrowded?
इल्जाम ये कि जेल प्रशासन की जेब गर्म करके कोई भी कैदी हॉस्पिटल में भर्ती हो सकता है. इल्जाम ये कि चढ़ावा चढ़ाकर कैदियों को वीवीआईपी ट्रीटमेंट मिल सकता है. ये आरोप आर्थर रोड जेल के पूर्व सीएमओ और डॉक्टर.
The toilets are not cleaned for days. People are living so close to unhygienic inmates, which lead to many prisoners to get skin diseases. Because of the extremely low living conditions and living quarters, so many of these inmates have become violent and uncontrollable. There are so many prison gangs that have tortured and abused other prisoners and have caused countless riots. There was an incident where 4 inmates were severely injured after they were involved in a huge fight where the 2 groups used sharpened pieces of metallic sheets and edges of their plates as weapons to attack each other. In the prison, no one is safe. Bird Jail takes us to number 8. In the ancient city of Patna, almost every major crime is linked to the gang lords who are kept behind bars at the Bird Jail. So not only are the criminals dangerous within the prison cell walls, but they're also heavily involved with a lot of criminal activity that is happening outside of the prison. In March 2010, a person was brutally murdered by this gang when he refused to pay the extortion demands of these jailed criminals. So needless to say, prisons can't even keep these criminals in order.
कुछ मोबाइल मिले हैं, अभी सर्च चल रही है, और कुछ गांजा और कुछ ब्रेसलेट्स वगैरह, सोने का सामान, कुछ व्यक्तियों के पास से कीमती चीज़ें. अभी हम लोग छापामारी अभी चल ही रही है, हमारी टीम अंदर है.
Moving on to some more dangerous prisons, we have the Dasna Jail in at number 7. People who lived in this area of this prison are scared of the criminals who live behind these walls. And that's because 13 men with terrible records of violence and abuse have come together at this prison to form the Gor Khan gang. It is also a disgusting prison that has very low hygiene standards, which makes the prisoners living here to be angry and highly violent. During a routine checkup, it was found that at least 27 prisoners, they were diagnosed with HIV, which is one of the most serious and deadly diseases in human history.
The कैद की सजा। फैसला सुनाए जाने के बाद वापस राजेश और नुपुर तलवार को डासना जेल ले जाया गया। आप तब की तस्वीरें देख रहे हैं जब अदालत के फैसले के बाद वापस तलवार दंपति को ले जाया गया डासना जेल। अदालत ने अपना फैसला सुना दिया है। तलवार दंपति को दी है उम्र कैद की सजा।
Begusari Jail comes onto this dangerous list at number 6. An 18-year-old inmate described his time here as the most terrifying experiences that he has ever had to face. Even after he was released, he said that he wakes up screaming from nightmares of police boots crashing into his chest and from all of the scary criminals staring at him. He was released after spending 72 days in this awful prison because someone else had confessed to the crime. But when he was initially interrogated by the police at the prison, he was tortured into confessing to a crime that he didn't even commit. He just wanted it to stop. So this poor kid spent over 2 months in this dangerous prison as an innocent person. Moradabad Central Jail brings us to number 5. This prison is grossly overpopulated. It is said that the 2,200 inmates are so crammed that they're actually forced to sleep in shifts. I mean, is this real life right now? This jail is also known to be the worst jail for women inmates in India because they are sexually tortured and physically assaulted on a daily basis. This prison was built to hold 650 inmates, but due to a severe overcrowding, they stuffed 2,200 inmates behind these cell doors, and the only time that these convicts can get some sort of break is when half of them go to their trials during the day. Puzhal Central Prison breaks onto this list at number 4. The prison houses some of the most notorious and dangerous inmates in India, and because of this, there have been many cases of extreme violence and murders that have occurred within these walls. One inmate told a news channel that he had been imprisoned here for 5 years while he was awaiting trial, and according to him, they were forced to clean their toilets with mud and there was no running water. There was another incident where 5 inmates ganged up on another prisoner, dragged him to an empty room where they brutally attacked him in the throat and private parts. And they did it with a homemade knife. There are so many other incidents that involved gang violence at this prison, it's almost too many to count, so let's move on. Number 3 takes us over to Yerwada Jail, which is located in Pune, India. This is a highly security jail that is currently housing 5,000 prisoners. Many famous freedom fighters, including Gandhi, have been jailed here. But this prison also has a reputation for being one of the most dangerous prisons in India because of overcrowding and poor living conditions. There was a case not too long ago about a convict who attacked and killed another inmate because they got into a fight about water falling on them in the kitchen. There was another brutal incident where an inmate was murdered by 6 jail officials after they brutally assaulted him. This triggered many violent protests by the jail inmates. So yeah, this is definitely not a prison that you should want to be sent to. And actually, you shouldn't even do the crime, because at this place, you don't want to do the time. Things get even more dangerous in at number 2 with Tihar Jail. This gruesome prison is located in New Delhi, India, and it is the largest complex of prisons in South Asia. This prison has an infamous reputation for having extremely corrupt guards, drug peddling, liquor smuggling, and they have brutalized living conditions. Life inside of the prison is compared to living in hell. The prison is falling apart. There is a dangerous ring of lethal weapons, violence, assault, drug addictions, and jail officials who abuse their power. The jail is currently housing double the amount of inmates it is supposed to be able to hold, so with the crowded jails and gross living accommodations, prisoners have turned extremely violent. Moving on to our number 1 spot on this dangerous list, we have Cellular Jail. Very creative name. Well, this is probably the most dreaded and horrifying colonial prisons located in India, and it was used by the British to exile Indian political prisoners. The prison was isolated from the mainland, and the prisoners had to endure some of the most violent and inhumane punishments. The prison was known as Cellular Jail because each inmate was housed in a separate cell, and each new inmate had to endure solitary confinement for the first 6 months. And then they were also expected to extract 2 pounds of coconut fiber each day, and if they failed to do it, they would be hit repeatedly with a cactus. If an inmate complained about the work, he would be handcuffed to a wall for 7 days and have to endure public beatings. It was said that if you were sent to this jail, that it was equivalent to a death sentence. Well, there you guys have it. This is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next most amazing top 10 video.